What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. If you recall or have been exposed to the Tower of Babbles story, I'll quickly go into it to lay the foundation of what I want to talk about today. The story goes, men worked so well together that they had resolved to build a tower so tall that it would reach the heavens. Every day, the tower got taller, and it came to a point where God got upset and saw this attempt as a sign of arrogance, to think that they could build anything that would reach him. And so, as punishment, he punished the people's tongues into babbling, meaning the language they depended on to communicate and coordinate the building to work together was taken away. Each one of them had a different language now, and there was no cooperation left to be able to build the tower, which seized the building of the tower. And subsequently, the lineage of each babbler is how it is said that languages came to be. And since we have functioning societies with common but still very different languages now, it is clear that we have figured out how to function and communicate and cooperate again. Maybe still, though, not yet enough to reach the heavens. And that is what I wanted to talk about today. If through enough time passing and generations, our babbling has turned into formal languages allowing us to cohabit the world, aside from the practical answer to this, but if this much cooperation is now present, why haven't we reached the heavens? Why haven't we resumed the work to build a tower tall enough to reach the heavens? Now, again, leaving the practical aside, knowing well that the heights is not what determines the reaching of heaven, as we are almost an interplanetary species now and have understood space outside our planet to be a practical thing, still I pose this question. Why have we not reached the heavens or discovered what is more so than the practical discovery of the stars and the space and planets? And in witnessing an argument recently and seeing so much of myself in that same argument, probably see myself even reacting the same way to the same triggers, I saw something clearly, because I wasn't involved in it, that I've talked about before, but maybe not from this light. All I saw was love. I saw two people lost in bickering, using their shared languages even, trying so hard to feel heard, to make their point. Neither one of them any more wrong or right from their stance. All I saw was words getting in the way of what they were actually trying to communicate. And that was love. And their need to feel loved. And the deficit of love felt in their personal certain scenarios. And unless you were listening past the minute details of the argument itself, which was so on a human surface, unless you look past that, you wouldn't see the two spirits just reaching out to each other, yearning for each other, trying so hard to feel loved by one another. What I couldn't help but realize was we have solved for the babbling. We have converged our understanding to commonly shared grammar, words, sentences, and so on. We have learned how to use words adequately to move past the babble problem. What I realized, though, is that the heart still babbles. And we have yet to figure out how to speak the language of the hearts. And I suspect it is a huge reason for why we have yet to reach the heavens. Because it is no longer the deliberation and dialogue of the mind that is holding us back, but the reclusive recesses of what lies in our hearts that we have still yet to figure out how to communicate. And I suspect if I was God looking to punish people away from reaching the heavens, I would hide the key, I would hide the key required for that collaboration deep within the parts of us not easily accessible. So I couldn't help but wonder, what kind of towers would we be building if we had a shared language of the heart? Now again, I am a romantic, but by no means am I naive. I understand all the challenges of identity ego, self-protection, and all the likes of these things that play the main characters in the play of your mind that keep you shrouded and away and distant from your fellow human. And I'm still saying it in a soft way because this disharmony can run deep, almost in a way to forget that the other persons are human at all. This is how groups can't even dialogue, or how wars begin and atrocities happen. So taken to an extent, the more noise in your heart space, the more it keeps you from seeing the clear picture of the human standing in front of you, the more dangerous the situation can get. And there's no naivete in me about the reality of life. All I'm wondering still is what would happen if our hearts could speak. Because I highly doubt we would wage war. I highly doubt the distances would remain. I'm almost certain more creativity, more innovation, more and more of everything would exist. And maybe, just maybe, enough to reach the heavens. Because I don't think, or rather know practically, that the heavens are not up in the sky somewhere to reach. But I do suspect that it is deep, in the deepest parts of us. And for us to be able to reach those parts, we need more than just us. We need a community, extra hands that are slaves to the heart, to build an intimacy, a resonance of spirit so deep, so loud, that the doors to the heaven fling open. And I think in that level of collaboration, from the place of our hearts, where we are closest to divinity, I think from that place, even God would smile and invite us in. I love you, family. Stay true, always. See you on the next show.